have a healthier heart. Now, today is International Yoga Day, and we talked to a business leader who turned to yoga during one of the most difficult moments of her life. Joining us now here on Newday is Carol Dominguez. She's a yoga enthusiast and instructor. Good morning, Carol. Glad you could join us this morning.
Morning, Paolo. How are you?
Excellent. Now, your journey with yoga started back in 1996. Now, we understand that you were in a difficult situation back then because of your health. What exactly happened, and can you tell us more, a little bit more about how that, how yoga helped you?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed in 1996 with cervical cancer. I was living in Milan, and I went back to the U.S. for treatment. So imagine I had, 6 months of chemo. I had, 30 days of radiation. I had all sorts of therapies, a radical abdominal hysterectomy. But 2 months after my last chemotherapy, they found a lesion in the left lower lobe of my lung, and so I needed to undergo a thoracic surgery. And I was very, very young. I was probably, in my early 30s, and I thought, what are they going to do? They're going to chop off like one of my organs every year. So my father told me that I'm the only one who could heal myself. So I searched, wide and far on alternative, medicine to heal myself aside from, Western medicine. So I looked at different kinds of yoga, Ashtanga, Bikram, Hatha, Kundalini, and so forth. I went to a program at the Kushi Institute and learned about the macrobiotic vegetarian diet. I did a lot of, searching on Reiki, Feng Shui, eat depending on your blood type, juicing, prayer, meditation, and so forth and so on. And then after all that searching, I decided to focus on 3 things. One was the macrobiotic vegetarian diet. Second was prayer and meditation. And third is Iyengar yoga, which I've been practicing for 25 years now. So that's how my journey started, Paolo.
All right. Well, it certainly does. I mean, we're looking at some amazing pictures here. It looks like you are definitely in the peak of health. And there are different types of yoga. Your focus is on Iyengar. You said, what is it about Iyengar that makes it different? You've run the gamut of different varieties or how do you call it, different kinds of practice of yoga. But this one sort of is a fit for you. Why is that?
Yes. So Iyengar yoga actually was started by Guruji BKS Iyengar, and it was in the 60s. And actually, he was the one who made yoga popular in the West. He traveled around. He wrote a book called Light on Yoga, and there he described 200 yoga poses as well as 14 types of breath. And it became very, very popular, in the West. And his whole thing was about the connection between the body and the mind. If you have balance, you have health. And so this really attracted me because it's very, very highly structured. It's, alignment is the focus, getting into the pose properly. I mean, there's so many things to think about to get into the pose. The other thing is, you need to be very, very disciplined. There's certain ways to get into the pose. You stay longer in the pose, like about over a minute compared to the other kinds of yoga. As a result, this builds a lot of strength, tones your muscles, fixes your posture. And, fourth, we also just in the class, but a lot of repetitions. And finally, we use a lot of props. So it doesn't matter what your, situation is, whether you're flexible or not flexible. Basically, if you can't touch your toe, we have, a belt to do that. If you can't lie down on your back, you can use a bolster, you can use a block. If you can't, touch the floor in Trikonasana. So, there are props to aid a student to practice yoga safely and towards health. And so that's what really attracted me compared to, the other forms of yoga. So, because it's actually very, very tough, while you're doing yoga, you're thinking about, let's say, how you're stretching your fingers, how you're pressing the ball of your feet, how you're, expanding, the heels. You're thinking of so many things that you can't think of anything else. You can't think about your work. You can't think about what you're going to cook. You have to focus on the practice, focus on the breath, and really, really have that mind-body connection. It's almost like a meditation in action. And Mr. Iyengar used to say that if you could practice, the way you're practicing yoga and you can in your mat and you can apply that to your life, then you will have a happy and healthy life.
All right, Carol, this is International Yoga Day, and CNN Philippines is airing a documentary called Yoga, Harmony with Nature. It's commissioned by the Ministry of External Affairs of India. It's the country where yoga actually originated some 5,000 years ago. Can you tell us a little bit more about the film?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Can you tell us a little bit more about the film that we're going to be airing here on
the
CNN?
Film.
Yeah.
Okay, so the film really talks about how India brought yoga to the world, and if we all practice yoga, we would have, harmony with ourselves, good health, and with our environment. And so it really talks about that, and it inspires us to practice yoga. And if you haven't already, just like myself, I've been so inspired with yoga. I was very ill 25 years ago, and here I am 25 years ago, still very healthy and able to contribute to the world. And so I think that's the essence of yoga. And I would encourage all of viewers today to watch the film and be inspired to start the practice if you haven't already. And of course, happy International Yoga Day to everyone.
Well, happy International Yoga Day to you as well. Yoga, Harmony with Nature airs tonight at 8 p.m. here on CNN Philippines. Carol, thank you so much. Namaste, I think, yes, you like to say, for joining us here on Newday. Thank you so much.